Welcome to a journey into yoga exploring strength. I'm Susan Rubenstein. Today we'll take the practice and develop building strength in our bones and in our muscles. Some of these poses at times may be challenging, so it might be a good idea to have some props, such as a block or a blanket. It's important when you start your journey into yoga to check with your doctor just to rule out any potential health risks. What we need to work with here is a nice open space, a mat to practice on, comfortable clothing, and it might be a good idea to have some water nearby. So as we explore these poses, you may find at times your muscles quiver a little bit. You might feel empowered. And that's what's great about yoga. It does a lot for us, not only internally, but externally. So it creates balance. So as we begin, I'd like to come into mountain pose, having you bring your feet together and your hands to your heart. We're just going to take a few moments here to withdraw our senses from wherever our journey was prior to coming to the mat. Just taking a few moments to explore the breath, listening for its unique sound. Feeling the texture of the breath when we inhale and when we exhale. Allowing the breath to fill the belly. Allow the breath to fill the lungs and expand in the ribs. We use the breath as a tool to create calmness. And by keeping the chest still when we breathe, we can feel this sense of releasing tension or stress within the body. As we explore these poses, you may find that at times your breath is held or it takes you a little bit longer to release. But it's important just to remember to keep the breath constant. So as we begin, let's add some flow and energy into the body, reaching upward, looking towards the thumbs, creating space. As we exhale, we're going to pour forward, letting our hands fall to the earth or bending the knees as the chest lands to the thighs for support. Now coming halfway up, we'll gaze out, creating space for our back. Pouring down. As the knees softly bend, we'll scoop forward to reach up. Just imagine you're carrying something precious up above you, and then invite the energy in. Together, let's do this again. Inhaling, exhaling, pouring forward, feeling a release in the head and neck. Inhaling, opening the heart. Exhaling, release down. Reaching forward, rising up, opening through the front body and bringing the energy in. Let's do 2 more of these together, just listening for the breath. So as we brought some new energy into the body, if you feel like you need to do a few more of those, go right ahead. Now as we move on, we're going to bring the arms up. So as we create tone in the arms, I want you to lengthen the arms up, parallel to one another. If you need to bring a little bit more space for your shoulders, bend your elbows out to the side to a goalpost. Now from here, I'd like you to step back with your left foot. Turning your toes out, drawing the heel down, and coming into a lunge with your front leg. So now we start to feel the strength in the legs. We want to lift through the spine in Warrior One, open through the hips. Taking some deep breaths here, feeling the toes spread, feeling that we're rooting down into the earth through our feet. And at the same time, we're lifting up and growing tall through our spine, our arms, our fingers. Now taking a deep breath in, opening the arms out. As we exhale, we're going to start to bind the arms. So as we slide the right arm underneath the left, we're going to wrap the forearms together, creating space in between the shoulders. The elbows float up. Taking another deep breath in, let's continue to maintain the lunge in the front leg as the knee tracks between second and third toe. But just bow forward for a moment. Head and neck are relaxed. And then gently come back up. As you slide back up, feel the lengthening through your sides. Let's do that again, pouring forward. Space in the back body. And then coming up. Separating the arms, take a deep breath in, and let's bring the hands now behind us. Option is to reach for the opposite elbow, or even lace your fingers together as you roll your shoulder blades back and down. Lifting through the front of the ribs, open through the chest, and breathe. Reaching the arms all the way up as we inhale. Exhale, press the hands down. As we step up, we return to mountain pose. So if you're feeling a little bit of fatigue in the forward leg, give it a shake. And then set the feet together once again. Inhaling the arms up. Let's take it through another set of flow. Exhaling, coming down. This time, inhale, sweep the right arm up to the sky. Exhale, float it down. And then the left side opens. And we release. Now as we scoop forward, bend the knees a little deeper and then come up through the legs. Exhaling the hands into the heart. Again, we inhale, reach up. Folding forward. You can keep the knees slightly bent or legs straight. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. Taking it to the other side. And then release. Deeper into the legs we bend, carrying the arms up. Exhaling the hands in. Let's do this twice more, allowing the breath to guide us. And as we rise up, we inhale and exhale. Creating strength in the arms, we reach up with the option of bending the elbows out to the side. This time, step the right foot back. As you turn the toes slightly in, yielding the back heel into the floor, coming into a lunge through your front leg. So again, we feel the strength in our thigh. Shoulders are down. Keeping those arms active. Lifting through the side. So we want to feel a nice stretch going on through our side waist, up through our ribs. As we float the arms out, we're going to take the left elbow underneath, binding the arms. Take another deep breath in and then pour forward over the front leg, softly gazing down. Coming back up as you inhale. Exhaling once again. Inhaling, coming back up. Pause as you exhale. Now begin to open the arms. Reach the hands back behind you, reaching for the opposite elbow or lacing your fingers together. Open the chest, creating space. And then taking another deep breath in, reaching the arms all the way up. Nice and tall, spreading your fingers. Taking your hand bones down and step up. So let's now once again step the left foot back. This time we come onto the ball of the back foot so the heel is lifted. Arms are going to come up. Spread your fingers now, taking the strength of the front leg and moving some active energy through it. As we inhale, we'll straighten the front leg, lifting the thigh bone up, and then exhale, coming into your lunge. And again, inhaling and exhaling. So not only are we exploring strength here, we're also finding our balance. Remaining steady on the back foot as the heel is lifted. The toes are tucked. We'll come up and down a few more times. One more time, inhaling and exhaling. Relax the shoulders and just stay here for 3 full breaths. As our hands start to travel towards the earth, we're going to maintain a lunge with this front leg. Now, as the right hand stays to the outside of the foot, I want you to open your left arm to the sky. And then lower the left arm down and open the right arm up. Extending the fingertips up long. Let's do that again, lowering down and then opening up. Lowering down, opening up. And then coming down onto your fingertips, we're going to drop the back knee down to the ground and carry the arms all the way up. So as we come down into our kneeling lunge, draw the hips forward, feeling a release through the front of the pelvis, down the thigh. Taking a deep breath in, we'll bring the hands together. We're going to take this left elbow and travel to the outside of the right knee as our hands remain in prayer, lifting the ribs from the thigh. So we're still feeling the heat in our front leg while it remains in a lunge. And then setting our arms up, inhaling. Exhaling. So just to release some of that tension, maybe even a little bit of a burn, we'll rock back and forth a few times. This is a nice way to break up any congestion. Now we're going to take this front foot, slide it back. So we're going to begin to come up into what we call plank pose. You can stay down on your knees if you're new to plank pose, and just make sure that your shoulders are right over the wrists and that the folds of your wrists, the front of your wrists, are facing forward. If you're coming up, you want to tuck the toes under, all the toes under, pressing them firmly into the ground. As the knees start to lift, keep your pelvis, your hips neutral to the ground. And then a nice strong belly here. So we want to draw the belly muscles in. Eyes forward, so the back of the neck is long. So as you're reaching forward through the crown of the head, you're also reaching and pressing back into your heels. Your thigh bones are lifted. You feel the strength moving through the arms and legs. If you get tired, just put your knees down and rest. Now we'll take another deep breath in here. As we exhale, we're going to start to now turn. As we turn, you can cross the legs, stack the legs, or begin to put your bottom knee down. So in this case, your left knee would come down onto the ground. As we've just changed the direction and moved ourselves into side plank. Again, feeling the strength through the arms and the legs. Remembering that your shoulder wants to be over that wrist as the creases of the wrist face forward. Let's come back to center. Take a deep breath in, set your knees down. Rest for a few moments by either remaining still in child's pose or even moving back and forth. And then coming forward once again. So returning to plank, lifting the navel into the backbone. Shoulders are over the wrist. Let's tuck the toes under. As we lift the knees, we want to lift the thighs, pressing back. Belly is brought in. Breathing in and breathing out. Sometimes our bodies will start to tremble a little bit. These are just natural rhythms going on as our balance kicks in. Now, slowly we turn. So again, it's important to make sure that the wrist stays under the shoulder, crossing or stacking the legs, or the knee comes down. Breathing in and breathing out. Taking 2 more breaths here. Now as we come back to center, we'll take another deep breath in. Option is to rest in child's pose or walk yourself up into the hips and into downward dog. So in downward dog, we'll spread our feet hip width. Our hands reach forward of the shoulders and we create length and space in our whole body. So this pose not only requires some strength, but it's also a restorative pose at the same time. Now, slowly, we're going to step our feet up in between our hands. As we bend the knees, we're going to keep the knees bent as we come into awkward chair. So we're going to slide the arms up and the shoulders back and down. So we feel very active, very strong. Now just make sure that as you're drawing your hips back, you're lifting your ribs up away from those hip bones. Now take another deep breath in, reach up tall. Exhale the arms down. Let's inhale, come into awkward chair. And then fold forward, releasing into a forward bend. Coming halfway up, we'll pour down. Coming through awkward chair once again, lifting in the ribs, spilling the hands to our side, we come up. Again, inhaling. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, release. Bending the knees, coming through, active through your hand bones, and then pouring the hands down. Let's do this twice more, following the breath. Let's just take 3 extra breaths here as we arrive in awkward chair. Feeling the energy and the heat in our thighs. Taking another deep breath in and then pouring the hands down by our side as we come up. Let's unwind the shoulders a few times before going on. So as we pause, the arms come up again, inhaling. This time as we step the right foot back, we come onto the ball of the foot and the left leg comes into a lunge, lifting in the ribs. Creating energy in our front leg, we'll inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. And again, deep breath in, and exhale. Inhaling, exhaling. One more time, deep breath in. As we exhale, we pause, lifting through the ribs, active through the hands. Slow breath moving through the body. Now taking these hands and beginning to float them forward so they're along the front of the foot. Opening the right arm as you inhale. Pouring it down to the floor. Same on the left side. So as we remain in this high lunge, we're just actively moving energy through our upper body. And again, deep breath. Exhaling. Now, staying on your fingertips, we'll slowly lower the back knee down. Untuck the toes, reach the arms up, and pause. As our hand bones meet, coming into a twist, we inhale, floating the elbow to the outside of the knee as we exhale. As we come up to center, inhaling, rising up through the fingers, set them down on the ground as you exhale and gently move back and forth. Now as the hands come underneath the shoulders, once again we step back. So remember, you can stay on your knees and just create strength and tone throughout the whole upper body. Otherwise, tuck your toes under. Feel that heat begin to now travel through the legs as the knees lift for plank pose. And if you're feeling strong today, you might want to just take your left foot up off the floor, couple inches, and then maybe set it down and do the other side. So it's a way of exploring strength. As we take the knees down, we're going to slowly turn once again to side plank. The option is to slide your left knee to the ground and then reach up. Now, exploring this pose, we can take the top leg, if the knee is not on the ground, and cross it in front. So this just changes the angle. And then we can float the arm overhead. So this is exploring shapes. If this doesn't feel right to you, just keep the knee on the ground and stay lifted through your side body. And then slowly coming out, we'll slide back to center. Stay in plank or rest if you need to, placing the knees down and reaching the hips back. And we'll take this through one more time. It's always a good idea just to go back to step one. Retrace your position, your alignment. And then as we come up, we breathe. Feeling connected to our whole body, especially when poses are a bit more challenging. As we come to the side, the option is to put down your right knee and lift. If you wish, take the top leg, bend it out in front of you. Taking another deep breath in, feel yourself open, possibly even carrying the arm overhead. As the arm comes up, we slide ourselves back to center. Now, as we lower down onto our right knee, I'm going to ask you to take your left leg out, coming up into a side lunge. From the side lunge, we're going to lengthen the leg, taking the arms up. Now the palm of your left hand faces the ceiling. We're going to sweep the right arm over. Now we're going to use a little bit of strength through our waist to come back up again. So we're going to inhale, come over, and then exhale, lift. Let's do this again. Inhale, come over. Exhale, lift. And then one more time, taking a deep breath in. And exhale. Slide the arms down. Slide the knee in. And then turning open. So you can stay in this side lunge. You might even want to extend your leg all the way out. Arms are out. Take the palm of your right hand as it faces the sky. Sweep over. And then come back up. So a lot of strength through the waist. Let's do this again. Inhale. Exhaling. One last time. Inhaling. Exhale, coming up. Sliding the knee in. We're going to reach up nice and tall. Now, as we reach up nice and tall, we're going to lean slightly back, just bringing some energy to our thighs. Let your arms open out to the side, and then bringing your hands to prayer pose. Take a deep breath in, start to come back up, reaching up nice and tall, and then exhale, we're going to pour forward, just letting the forehead come down to the ground for a moment. So after a nice strong practice of energizing the legs, let's just come up for a moment. Place the legs out in front of us, move them side to side. So if you're new to this practice, don't feel like you have to do the whole thing. Join us for a few moments, take a break, and then come back when you're ready. Anytime that you're in a pose, remind yourself to keep the breath constant. And take that time out if you need water. So we're going to bring our hands up towards the sky as we inhale, and then slide the hands down to the heart. So this is the opportunity to come into stillness. The opportunity to thank our bodies for exploring these poses today. All of the hard work that it was able to do. And remember to care and nourish your body, not just on the mat, but off as well. So until our journey continues next time, I thank you for joining me. Namaste.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.